How are you, sir?
I'm good, ma'am.
Oh, it's a really great course. Yogini Dasha, Yogini course by itself is a great course. And again, another one with karma relationship. My God, it's almost completing the course we feel. But the intensity of the course material and the knowledge what you transfer, I wonder which Rishi is simply descended through you. That knowledge, sir. No explanation. That is the intensity of knowledge what you transfer. For that, we are really blessed to be just you. Even to look at you is a great thing in my life. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
would almost go to Soumya's level. And thank you for giving me this
Thank you.
opportunity. Also, there is one continuous question arising in this class regarding the Sun Rahu and the remedy. What is that? Ruby.
Yes, ma'am.
In one of the class, you have said, sir, that Rahu should not be reduced. I mean, the power of Rahu. But when Sun and Rahu both are together, which is that we should increase the power for?
Always Sun.
Sun.
Because
Sun
Rahu
in Marana Sun and Pisces in 7th house. So, which should I increase? I'm afraid if Rahu goes down, again you have said the intelligence also goes down. So, which to increase is my real question.
in 7th house, go for Saturn. Go for Neelam.
Saturn, sir. Not Sun Rahu. Sun, Ruby.
If for prediction purpose, always Sun.
So, which should we go?
Sun. Ruby.
Ruby. And Saturn.
See, Rahu, I don't see. This is why I always fear about what we read and what we understood are two different things. Rishi wrote something else because of their own mindset. They were in a very different era. They had a very different thought process. And what they have written, we have to interpret it. We only interpret because of our small brains, right? So when Rishi wrote Rahu is a bad planet or is a Malech planet, they wrote it by whatever they always knew that all the other things about Rahu. They're imagining it. Like whenever I ask a person, like let's suppose if you come and work for me, I will ask you, go and do the pre-dive checks. I am assuming you know how to do the pre-dive checks before launching a submarine, right? So you can always go ahead and look at it and say everything okay. In my brain, you have done all the oil checks, water checks, leakage checks, airtight, water pressures. You have done everything. So Rishi is also assuming that you have done the pre-dive checks. You know everything about Rahu. Now with that half knowledge of pre-dive checks, was never been to ship, and I'm saying that just because you've said yes, good or bad to something, you can make a decision whether you're ready to launch or not. This is what most people do mistakes. Rahu is a pathway to the outer world. It has no, like, you cannot see the waves which bring signals to your phone. That's Rahu for you. Communication channel. So how do you communicate with your ancestors? How do you communicate to the future or the past? How do you see things? It is only because of Rahu or Ketu. When Sun is in 7th house, it is in a cold state. The moment you will wear the ruby, you will start getting dreams. I'm telling you, the first thing which will happen to you, 7th house Sun, the moment you will wear a ruby with Rahu, you'll start getting dreams, and which are intimate dreams about the partners, different partners. Like yesterday, a girl commented, I draw a Sun Yantra. The prediction I gave to her was, you saw something bad happening to you by a colleague in the office. It was an intimate dream. The reason for this prediction was that girl, Surya, was in that particular position, that it will get her connected to the past life. Something bad has happened to her past life in the sexual life. It's the same thing with you, Sun Rahu. Something has been overused. A connection, something has to be communicated. Soul is still. Sun is what is your sun? Soul. The soul is still in the 7th house with Rahu. Still want to communicate with the partners of the past. Still want to communicate what is about to come. So when you start wearing ruby.
Ketu with retro in Jupiter, in Virgo ascendant. So how much more it's communicating, I'm really wondering.
So Sun, whenever you will wear a ruby, Look for the dream. I'm telling you, this is a dream you're about to get after wearing the ruby.
Yeah.
Once it happens, then you know the ruby is working. You can communicate,
Okay. That's really nice, Guruji.
right?
And in one.
So I'll start with the one very basic question somebody asked. I said, Jupiter is a benefic planet. So how does it works for the ascendants where it become malefic, like a functional malefic, like for Cancer ascendant, it's a sixth lord. For the Gemini ascendant, it will become the Marak seventh house. It's a very genuine question. How you will interpret a dasha of a planet, which everyone says it's a benefic. But in your chart, it has acquired a bad position or gone into a bad place. Imagine this, imagine yourself as a planet. You're trying to go from point A to point B, and in between there are several stops. This is what the planet is like. It has to go from Aries to Pisces. In between there are different stops. There are good stops, there are bad stops, there are good restaurants, there are bad restaurants, there is a wine shop. Similarly, the planet stops at a wine shop. But Jupiter being Jupiter, there is a reason we pray to Jupiter because of the highly dense, the most dense planet, most heavy planet. The gravitational force is very high. It can never do bad. But the way it is going to do good to you has to be changed. So all teachers are not good. Some teachers give us experiences. Some people, when they walk in our life, they give us bad experiences. It's the same thing with Jupiter. Jupiter has one job. The objective is very clear. That it will give you wisdom. How it is going to give you depends on where Jupiter is sitting. So if Jupiter is sitting on a bank, Jupiter in sixth house, hospitals, enemies. So your enemies will give you more wisdom. I mean, I thank all those people who abuse me, and in every industry. It's not about the Jyotish. Because every time somebody will abuse me, what I do, I never return back. I never reply. It's not my habit because we should know what is your biggest point, right? You should know our strength. So my strength is not in speaking and arguing arguments. I cannot do that. Not good at it. I take that comments, I take that feedback, I take those insults, I try to build upon it. When I first entered to this underwater robotics job, the first thing, I was the first person to be hired directly out of college as an instructor in an industry where people were coming from NASA, ISRO, submarine captains, NATO special forces, all these people, bomb disposal squad leader. You hired a kid of 21-year-old. The only reason they wanted to experiment is how this new kid will behave, who is not biased with all those tips and tricks of army and military and war zones. I was continuously insulted for not in the army background, for not serving into any forces, for not taking bullets in the head. All those medals, achievements these people have done, continuously achieved. In 3 years, I made every single one of them sit down in my class to learn how to do troubleshooting. I never replied back on emails. I never fought, argued back. Sixth house, Sagittarius. The person who was there for 20 years supervisor, the same person who wrote several emails, what a kid is going to teach me, who has never been offshore in his life, who has never operated a bomb disposal squad, a robot. How is going to teach me how to dispose bomb under the sea? Or how to find a nuclear waste under the sea? 3 years it took me. I made that person sit down in my class to learn how to do troubleshooting. And then I insult him continuously by telling him you do not know a thing about the machines. So it is up to you what you are going to do with that bad comment. This is how the Jupiter is going to teach you. You have a Jupiter in 8th house. That's transformations. Eighth house is of leaving things, And Lal Kitab says the one who can donate the complete kingdom of gold. It means the person has to have a kingdom of gold first, then only he can donate. But that also means the person has a very big heart. He can donate anything and still not worry about it. He can still move on. So people with Jupiter 8 or Sagittarius and Jupiter 8 or Pisces and Jupiter 8, they're going to leave things. They're going to build the kingdom for other people, leave it and move on because they know their whole capability does not light in that goal. Their whole capability is not about how to build that kingdom. They know whatever they're going to trust is going to turn into gold. That is why this the Wolf of Wall Street, that person, I don't remember his name, Jordan Belfort, that has a Jupiter 8. See what he did? He built a kingdom, maybe out of scams and whatever other things. But later on, he realized after he lost everything, his biggest capability is marketing. When they started making this particular movie, The Wolf of Wall Street, and Leonardo DiCaprio met Jordan Belfort, he was living in a very small house in a very shabby conditions, and the ending of the movie was something different. By the time they completed movie, and Leonardo DiCaprio went on to meet him again, he was living in a mansion. He has a Mercedes, he has a BMW, he has all the cars. He said, "What happened in 2 years?" He said, "I turned back things again. I know how to market things." That's Jupiter 8 for you. It will give you life lessons only once you get destroyed. So that is why it says you can also donate the kingdom of gold. In Hindi, it is called as Lanka daan karne ki taakat rakhta hoga. So you see, the extreme malefic planet is giving you wisdom in his own ways. Jupiter in 12th house, the past life curse of giving out things very easily to people, helping out everyone, keeping a very big heart. And always tell Jupiter 12th house, they are always scared of gurus. They're always scared of going into ashrams, committing to people. Reason being is they have a past life curse of what the guru can ask me. But their over donations are going to teach them the more you give. People will, Jupiter 12th now, I've seen people, they're so innocent. Whatever someone asks me, they say, okay, take it. People think they are clever with the Jupiter 12th. But later on, this Jupiter 12th, whatever you can take from him, you do not know they have the connection from outside in the 12th house. They have this prarabdha. A Jupiter never becomes malefic. It's only the way the guru is going to teach you. Jupiter 10th, people say debilitated, Saturn effect. Now the guru is going to become, the wisdom of guru is going to turn into rules now. A Jupiter 10th is going to be very cruel, mean, going to raise your level high. This is what the Jupiter does. 10th house is the highest peak of your life. So what is the Jupiter 10th? Any planet which goes in 10th house now, it is going to increase your level of life because it is going to make sure you climb up the mountain. And when you climb up the mountain, two things happen. There's a lack of oxygen. Secondly, you have to leave a lot of things down below in the base camp. You only carry essentials. That is Jupiter 10th for you. So Jupiter 10th will teach you nothing is more important in this life other than the oxygen. And you should not carry weight of other people when you are climbing high. So a lot of people will stay with you only for a time till the point they can breathe with you. Oxygen, that's why one of the remedies of Jupiter 10th is please wake up every morning, take fresh oxygen every morning, do pranayam, and learn to let people go. Do not hold grudges because Jupiter 10th, you will face betrayals in your life. Please write it down like in a wall and stick. Do not be attached to people that, oh, he left me. But because you are climbing high, this is what Jupiter's principles. Your principle is going to get every day, it is going to become so higher that people cannot breathe. They're going to get suffocated with you. Because now, when you have to go up high in the life, you expect everyone to run at same speed. Some people are not going to do it. Some people are not ready for that kind of atmosphere. So that is why Jupiter 10th, is it bad or good? You tell me. There's not going to be many people in your life who can, I mean, look at Ken Rao, Jupiter 10th. A lot of people started astrology with him. Only very few carried or worked with him, and still none of his students can match the passion he carries. And that is what makes Ken Rao such an angry person at later stage of his life, because of the frustration that what I'm trying to teach you, you're not even understanding it. So now this question, and you can apply this to any planet. Saturn being Saturn, you can say Saturn is good in 7th house for what? Look at people who are married with Saturn 7th house. The work of Saturn is to give pressure to you. Very simple. In one line, it is not going to leave that quality. It is going to put pressure on you, make you like a rock. And once you turn into a rock, then we'll say, my work is done. I'm okay with it. Like Saturn 5th house, until unless you start every day, until unless you learn something, you'll feel there's a pressure. Because 5th house is education. Saturn 4th house, until and unless you go out and interact with people or do something related to masses, related to the food, land, property, until unless you build your small kingdom on your own. 4th house. Saturn 4th house, the dictum is the person has to leave his birthplace, then only he can get success in life. It will never be respected at its own place. So you can build your little kingdom, you can have the complete kingdom on your own everywhere, like Sri Ram, right? Saturn 4th house. The complete kingdom, he has to still leave. So Saturn 4th house, you can have the kingdom like Ayodhya back your home. You have to go outside, live in a jungle and make your own name. Even when it transits 4th from moon or 4th from Lagna, same thing happens. Leave your house, otherwise you will be discarded. This is.
Want to ask any question to me by seeing me?
No, thank you. I know your Surya is good.
Okay.
Like Aditya,
but my sun is with Rahu. So, do you think the Surya is still good?
Which house it is?
It's in the 9th house. Sun, Mercury, and Rahu.
See, I'm telling you, Sun sitting in no one house now. Sun sitting in 9th house. The Surya is good. Rahu is not affecting it. If Rahu has a very prominent effect. Like other day, a doctor came to my office and I told him, you have a Grahana Yoga in your chart. And he said, I don't have a Grahana. I said, okay, where is your Rahu? He said, Lagna. So, even when you deny that there's nothing in my chart as a Grahana, it shows on your face that there is a Grahana in your chart. Like Aditya has a good sun, but it's afflicted. It's completely afflicted.
Okay.
His name is Aditya.
Any planets that are in challenging positions based on
12th house. Your 12th house is extremely
7th. I've got Saturn and Mars in 12th house.
Yeah, I know this 12th house. You have a 12th house very challenging.
Any remedy?
But tell me how do I know this?
I have no clue.
I'm not interested in showing the magic tricks. I want to teach you this. How I'm telling everyone where it is. The thing is, that's why I'm telling you, please do Gayatri Japa. I'm continuously stressing in every video, every lecture I'm telling students, please do Gayatri Japa.